Let's be honest, we're all kind of drowning in data, right? Spreadsheets, reports, databases, it's just everywhere. But the real trick, the real challenge, is turning that huge ocean of information into a single, clear signal that tells you what to do right now. And that's exactly what we're going to build today.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got spreadsheets and databases coming out of your ears, but when your boss asks a seemingly simple question, like, hey, how are we doing? It takes hours, maybe even days to cobble together a clear answer. It's frustrating, right?
Well, what if you could change all that? In the next few minutes, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through how to build your very first dashboard, transforming that intimidating wall of numbers into one single, intuitive screen that gives you answers just like that, at a glance.
This brings us to what I call the data dilemma. See, the problem for most businesses isn't a lack of data, it's the exact opposite. All that valuable information is locked away in different files and databases, making it incredibly tough to make quick, smart decisions. And that's the dilemma we're going to solve right now.
So what even is a dashboard? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like the dashboard in your car. You don't need to see the engine's pistons firing or the transmission shifting, right? No, you just need to see the critical stuff, your speed, how much gas you have left, maybe the engine temperature. A data dashboard does the exact same thing for your business. It only shows you the most important metrics you need to keep an eye on.
All right, so every great project needs a solid foundation. For us, that means getting our raw material ready. We're going to be using a pre-built Power BI report file. Just think of this as a collection of charts and tables that have already been designed. Our first job is just to get it into the Power BI service. That's the online space where all the magic happens.
And luckily, the process is super straightforward. We just navigate to our workspace, hit import, and then upload that report file from our computer. That one little action publishes both the report, which is kind of like our visual blueprint, and all the data behind it. Everything's now in place for us to start building.
Okay, with our foundation laid, now comes the really fun part. We get to assemble our own custom view. This is where we get to play designer and handpick the most important visuals from that report, arranging them into our own powerful one-page summary.
We're going to start with the big one, the most important visual. In our report, we've got this awesome chart showing sales and profit margin by month for fiscal year 2020. Now watch this. With just one click on that little pushpin icon, we can pin it to a brand new dashboard. Let's call it Sales Monitoring. And just like that, bam, our dashboard has its first and most important tile. How cool is that? Now, charts are great for getting a feel for the trends, but what if you need a specific number, like right now? You don't want to go digging through tables, you just want an answer. Well, this is where one of the most mind-blowing features comes into play. The ability to literally ask your data a question in plain English. And just look at this, we're not writing any code. No complex formulas. We're just typing a question, like we're talking to a person. Sales YTD in year FY 2020. I mean, it's as simple as asking a colleague for a number, but the answer is going to be instant and perfect. And boom, there it is, $33 million. Power BI understood our question, crunched who knows how many rows of data, and gave us a single, clear answer in seconds. Just think about that for a moment. What used to take an analyst hours to pull together is now an instant answer. And of course, we're going to pin this number right to our dashboard so that key metric is always visible. All right, to give our dashboard that final, polished, professional look, let's add the company logo. It's easy. We just add a new image tile, paste in a special data URL, which is basically just a way to embed the image directly. Then we can resize it and drag it right to the top. It's a small detail, I know, but it makes a huge difference in making it feel, official. Okay, this next part is what really separates a dashboard from a plain old static report. See, a dashboard isn't just a snapshot of your data from last week. It's a living, breathing view of your business that can update automatically. This means you're always looking at the latest and greatest information. So, let's set the stage for a little bit of magic here. Imagine that while we've been building this, the sales team has been busy and they just closed out a new month. The main database has just been updated with all the sales orders for June 2020. Our dashboard is about to get its first real-world test. And this right here, this is the moment that shows the true power of a live dashboard. On the left, you see our chart as it was, with data only going up to May. Then, after we hit refresh on the data source, look at the right. A whole new column for June 2020 just appears instantly. And notice the last refresh time. It updates to now. We didn't have to rebuild anything. We didn't have to repin it. It just works. So we've built a dashboard, we've asked it questions, and we've seen it update in real time. Pretty cool, right? But let's take a step back and talk about why this is such a game changer. It all comes down to one thing: making better, faster decisions.
So let's just recap the incredible transformation we just witnessed. We went from a mess of siloed data to a clean single view. We moved from static, out-of-date reports to live real-time monitoring. We turned complicated data queries into simple, plain English questions. And, most importantly, we went from slow, manual analysis to getting instant insights. And what this all leads to, the ultimate takeaway, is this. You've created a single source of truth. It's one place where everyone in the company can go and be totally confident that they are seeing the same, correct, and completely up-to-date information. That, right there, is how you get everyone on the same page and really start driving action.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Now that you know it's possible to literally have a conversation with your data, what's the one question you're going to ask it today that could totally change how you run your business tomorrow?
Lab will go through create Power BI dashboard in Microsoft Azure training Power BI. This marks as an optional lab, but here you see the contents and we can go through that one. So in this lab, we'll learn pin visuals to a dashboard and use QA to create dashboard title. So let me start the lab. I have downloaded the required files. So for this lab, you need to download the files, then open a browser window and navigate to get the files here. So here I have opened Power BI window, and now let's go to, let me zoom in. So here go to the my workspace, then go to input, select that option from this computer and go to folder, downloaded folder where you download it. Maybe download is still going. So here the files, and we're going to select the files like starter sales analysis and click open. So you can see that report here. Now we'll create a dashboard. So for that, open this 12 starter sales analysis report. When that open, yeah, just make sure that here for this lab that year slicer is for financial year 2020 and region slicer to select all. To create a dashboard and pin a visual over the cursor over the sales and profit margin. You can see that options. You can see that options also here. And we have to push pin that one. So you can see that push pin here. So pin visual. So select that option. And here when you see that in the pin to dashboard window, in the dashboard name, give a name here. So we are giving sales monitoring. And then select pin. Create and mobile, go to dashboard. You can go to separate one. So just close that one. Now let's go to my workspace. and you can see that the report that we created, sales monitoring dashboard that we created, select that one. You can see that has sales profit margin. Now, to add a title based on questions, we need to do, you see that there's option ask a questions about your data. You can use the question and answer feature to ask a question, and Power BI will respond with a visual. So if we go there, and we can see the type one of this to get started. So you can select any questions to see that one. What is the profit by column? We can get a response. We can go for another questions. So we can get the some kind of value here based on our questions. Like top reseller country region by minimum price. You can see that one. So now let's remove this and give a questions from our side that sales year to date, press enter. So it's showing that the blank that we added some kind of field before, so we can see that it's showing the blank value. Now extend the questions with a year. Now it's giving some value, and we can see that response is nearly 33 million. Now to pin this response to the dashboard, you can see that there's an option pin visual. Select that one, and then it's giving like the value pin to dashboard. And we can go with the sales monitoring that we created before, and then select pin. And to return to the dashboard, okay, you can go from here, but we would like to exit from it. So go there, and now we'd like to add a company menu. So for that, you can select that edit option and select add a title. Now here, select the image title, click on next, and then required title name, site title, create a custom link. But I did not get option to select the file, image, next. Didn't. URL, external link. Many options are available that we can add, but we have got a text file downloaded. Let's go to the downloaded folder. From, and there is a file called logo file. This one. Open the file and copy everything from here, Control C. Go back here, paste the content here on URL. And we need to give a image title. So give that company logo and click on apply. So you can see that logo here. Now let's put the logo in the top left corner. So that looks nice. Now if you'd like to edit the details, we can vary that more options, and you can see that edit details options. Now here in the subtitle box, let's add that financial year 2020 and then select apply. And you can see that it's added their subtitle. And now give a nice title also. So edit details. We are going to give a title's name like sales profit margin, and in the functionality section we also are getting option like display last refresh time and then click apply. And you can see that here you can see that refresh time. So click apply option. So next we are going to do refreshing the semantic model. So for that we need to run a PowerShell script to update the data into AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2020 database. So for that, let's go to the downloaders section. And here you will see that the PowerShell script. Click the here and you can see run with PowerShell. Click that options. So make sure that you just run only once it is mentioned into the document. Running it more than once will cause a primary key consistent error. So you can see inserting June sales data. Press any key to close. So does that mean that it's completed? So press enter. So now AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2020 database included sales order made in June 2020. So now if we go to Power BI desktop file, so for that open the 12 status sales analysis file. So when file is open, let's go to the data pane. and go to the sales table. And there is a refresh and click data. So it's showing that localhost, this one localhost. So click connect. Okay. So when that is done, click save button. Now to publish the file to your workspace on the home ribbon, you can see that there is an option like publish under share. So select that one to publish. Let me give the ID. Click done. Select the Power My Workspace. Select. Click the replace option. Got it. So Semantic model now has got the 2020 sales data. So now if you go to browser and refresh this page, let's see what's going to happen. So you can see the June data here. But so far looks good. Sales monitoring. And we can see that when that refresh happens, so refresh 40 seconds before when I did that one. So you can see that options available. So that's all for this lab. If you have any questions, you can add that into comment sections. Otherwise, see you into next into different Azure lab.